I think Blue Wave would definitely be helpful. There's always people like to help, and there's always someone. I myself have not gone and gotten professional help. I've always gone through my family, close friends I've talked to, and I've tried to deal with it in my own ways or trying to find understanding. My family has been a major part of my life where they've gone from places where when I was little, I have ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, where I can be quite boisterous and I can be quite loud and almost overwhelming at sometimes. And a lot of the time when I meet new people, I am overwhelming to them and they can't kind of take on the full effect that I have. And so often I usually end up scaring away my newfound friends because I am so overwhelming. When I was little, I used to hate my ADHD because I was always getting in trouble. Like I actually got banned from the buses in kindergarten because I convinced all the year sixes and all the students on the bus to play tips from the front to the back, and I got banned off the bus for a couple of weeks because I'd gone and done that. So it did start off with, because of the ADD, like people weren't so like friendly to that, and they did think that I was weird. But as I've grown up and I've grown into it, I actually really like that I've got it, because it's that extra little boost, it's that extra character, and it makes me stand out as a person. When you feel depressed, you feel bad about it. Like depression is something that comes because when you're depressed, you feel down and emotional. But then the way you've been raised is that being depressed is something that's bad. So you're raised on guilt that depression is bad, and because it's bad, you then think it's bad. But if you understand that depression is okay, and that it's just a stage that you go through, it's a mood. When you're happy, you give yourself time to be happy. When you're emotional, you give yourself time to be emotional. When you're in love, give yourself time to be in love. But when you're upset, you actually have to give yourself time to be upset. You can't just go, oh, I don't want to be upset. Like that's not something I want to do. I'll just leave it, and therefore it's bad. You've got to actually like go, give yourself the time. Go, and the best thing I do is if I'm upset or emotional, I'll go home, and what I do now is when I deal with it, I go home, I sit in like my room, or I go and have a bath and I put some candles on and listen to some music and just write it out. Just spend time with myself. I'm upset, I feel upset, I write it out, and I wait until the next wave comes, and then something will always come and change it. And it's what I've come to realize, it's the sad times in life, or the emotional times or upset times, that make the good things seem so much better. I mean, if we didn't have the bad things, I don't think the good things would be half as fun. When I was on the brink, I kind of ran into a bad time. I only once have I ever gone that extra step and thought about actually doing it. And at the same time, while thinking I was going to do it, I knew that I wasn't going to. Ironically enough, it's stupid, because the only time I've ever actually gotten overwhelmed with it and thought it was too much was over a girl. And I was emotional, and I got upset, and I ended up having a knife against my chest. But I didn't. It was weird because I knew I wasn't going to do it, but I still wanted to do it. And it's almost like I find that a lot of the cries are almost an attention seeking, because they want that attention. They want that someone to stop them. They want someone to come and save them, because everyone wants a hero, I guess. And even though I was there with, like, laying down with the knife against my chest, I knew I wasn't going to do it, because the one thing that my mom said to me when I was little was that if you take your own life, don't think about that's the easy way out. Think about the people you're going to affect, because they're the people that are going to be left to pick up the pieces when you do it. And I think the Blue Wave thing would be good, because talking about it does always help. And if you could find someone, and if Blue Wave was giving that kind of support, or not in the same kind of context, of course, but would get in there, support the people, and talk it out. Because even now, I'm sitting here trying to express it to you, I'm upset, but I'm talking it out, and at the same time, because I'm talking, it always feels that a little bit better. So if Blue Wave can give that kind of support, then I think there's definitely something that needs to grow and needs to reach every shore, as you said. depression is something that can eat you if you let it get to you, because you don't let it, like, you don't give yourself the time to do it. But if you give yourself the time to do it, get that part over the way, and then you go and find something that's good, and you can go and like live that moment and just jump on it and ride the blue wave, exactly as you're saying, because the roller coaster is going to be what makes you stronger at the end.